Later that night, inside Toad Village, Chung Dao lay sat with a large parchment spread before him. Lu Zhai approached with a warm basin of water. "Here," she said, "soak your feet before you take a bath." Chung Dao Lei didn't look up. "The world isn't meaningless," he murmured, staring at the paper. Lu Zhai tilted her head. "What's on your mind? Why do all these bandits keep targeting us?" He frowned. "I always thought I was a good person." Lu Zhai rolled her eyes. "Bandits steal because they don't have any other way to make a living." Chung Dao Lei scoffed. "So that makes it fair for them to rob us?" Lu Zhai just sighed. Chung Dao Lei ruffled her hair. "All right, go bring another pot of hot water. We'll soak our feet together." She hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." Minutes later, with her feet in the basin, Lu Zhai let out a satisfied sigh. "Ah, warm." Chung Dao Lei smirked. "Cold? A little." "You can lean closer," he said casually. Before he even finished, she had already pressed against him, her face turning bright red. Chung Dao Lei chuckled but said nothing. The next morning, deep within King Mu Mountain, Chung Dao Lei and Kin Man trudged through the underbrush. "So," Chung Dao Lei said, "what should I do?" Kin Man didn't look back. "Avoid causing trouble." Chung Dao Lei scoffed. "Too late for that." Kin Man sighed. "Fine, just don't poke the bears." "Bears?" Chung Dao Lei grimaced. "What, no deer or rabbits? They're harder to catch." As they walked, Chung Dao Lei spotted a hole in the ground. He nudged Kin Man. "Hey, what animal made this?" Kin Man examined it and replied, "A person." Chung Dao Lei blinked. "Why would someone dig a hole in the freezing cold?" Kin Man smirked. "To catch something bigger than a rabbit." Kin Man explained that despite the thick blanket of snow covering the mountains, resilient plants thrived beneath, providing nourishment to those who knew where to look. He admitted that he used to dig for food himself, but thankfully those days were behind him. Chung Dao Lei raised an eyebrow. "We searching for ginseng?" Kin Man scoffed. "Grass roots." As they trudged forward, the sight of a frail woman and a dirt-smudged child caught their attention. A shallow hole beside them suggested they had been desperately scavenging for food. Chung Dao Lei knelt down. "You two the ones digging these holes?" He scanned their ragged clothes. "Where's your village?" The mother hesitated, clutching her child protectively. Before she could answer, Kin Man silently handed them a loaf of bread. The child's eyes widened with delight. She took a cautious bite, then turned to her mother, breaking the bread in half before the two embraced each other in relief. Chung Dao Lei and Kin Man pressed on, their footprints trailing behind them in the snow. As Chung Dao Lei glanced back, the mother and child met his gaze, nodding in silent gratitude. The girl clutched her half of the bread, chewing slowly as if savoring every bite. Chung Dao Lei clenched his fists, his resolve hardening. Meanwhile, in the depths of Toad Village's prison, a lively game of dice was underway. White Wolf grinned as she called for a high roll. "Bigger numbers, always." Gao Fei Bao smirked. "Smaller ones win, too." The dice clattered against the cold stone floor. White Wolf erupted in cheers, victorious once again. "You always go for the big ones," Gao Fei Bao muttered, stealing a glance at her chest before another prisoner nudged him with an unimpressed look. Undeterred, White Wolf demanded another round. Their game was abruptly interrupted when Chung Dao Lei sauntered into the prison, arms crossed. "Having fun," he smirked. "Mind if I join?" Before they could answer, he cut to the chase. "Good news. I'm letting some of you out." The prisoners straightened up. Chung Dao Lei leaned against the bars. "The rest? That depends on behavior." He raised an eyebrow. "Who wants to go first?" A murmur spread among the prisoners. "You took your time," she muttered, brushing a stray strand of hair from her face. Chung Dao Lei grinned. "Good to see you too, Miss Su." Before he could say anything else, Suing suddenly snatched the embroidered handkerchief from his shirt. Chung Dao Lei blinked. I was gonna give you that," he said sheepishly. "But I guess you are good at finding things." Suing remained silent, staring at the delicate embroidery. Zhao Yi, arms crossed, muttered, "Playboy." Chung Dao Lei wisely chose to ignore that. After a moment, Suing turned to him. "So, what brings you here?" "I need grain," he said bluntly. Su Ying's brows lifted. "Grain?" Chung Dao Lei nodded. "People are dying. I can't ignore it. Su Ying sighed. Fallen Leaf City doesn't have enough grain. All of Yuzhou is suffering. Food prices have skyrocketed. Even you can't afford it. Cheng Daolei frowned. Then I'll steal it. Su Ying gave him an exasperated look. And how exactly do you plan on stealing hundreds of thousands of pounds of grain? Fair point. She smirked. You're ridiculous. Cheng Daolei tapped his fingers on the table, thinking. So you're saying there's no way? There is a way, Su Ying admitted, sipping her tea. But a normal person wouldn't be able to pull it off. Cheng Daolei grinned. Lucky for us, I'm not normal. Su Ying rolled her eyes. She then leaned forward. You have something valuable, peppers. Trade them for food. Cheng Daolei listened intently as Su Ying mapped out the empire. The west and south are rich. The east is poor. The north is crawling with bandits. If you want grain, you have to go south Yangzhou. That's the empire's breadbasket. How far is Yangzhou? Cheng Daolei asked. Su Ying tapped her fingers against the table. If you take the main route through Zhaizhou and Yuzhou, 3 to 5 months. Cheng Daolei's expression darkened. By the time I get back, most of the starving people will already be dead. Su Ying maintained her usual composed expression as she listened to Cheng Daolei's dilemma. Then, she casually proposed an alternative. Since Fallen Leaf City is by the sea, why not take the water route? She suggested. With favorable winds, it would only take 5 days. A full round trip maybe half a month. Cheng Daolei's eyebrows shot up. 15 days? He repeated incredulously. Su Ying nodded. Yes, but don't get too excited. The sea route isn't exactly a stroll through the village. There are raging waves, sudden storms, pirates, coastal warlords. One wrong move, and you won't even have bones left to bury. Cheng Daolei wrinkled his nose, realizing that this was the best and most dangerous option available. Well, that settles it, he declared, standing up. Prepare a ship. I'm leaving tonight. Sun Jie, who had been quietly listening, nearly dropped the teapot he was holding. Leaving tonight? You just got here. Don't you at least want to dash? No time. Cheng Daolei cut him off. I can't afford to rest. A group of hungry bandits sat around, grumbling. Is there any food left? One asked. Another sighed. If only we lived in Toad Village. I heard they have tens of thousands of pounds of grain. Unbeknownst to them, Gao, standing at a distance, overheard their complaints. Kuei Ran, their strategist, approached him with an idea. Gao, we need to talk. Gao gave him a wary look. You got an idea? He asked. A way to get food? Kuei Ran nodded. We send a few men into Toad Village at night. Gao raised a brow. You're suggesting we steal their food? Kuei Ran smirked. Stealing would be too hard. No, we set fire to their granary. If we starve, they starve. No more letting them live comfortably while we suffer. His voice carried a chilling edge. Gao stared at him. That's evil. Kuei Ran scoffed. A true man is not without venom. Why should they eat while we starve? Gao shook his head. Burning another man's granary? That's a sin. You'll curse your entire bloodline. Before Kuei Ran could argue, a messenger ran up, panting. Something's happening at Toad Village. Gao, you need to come quick. Kuei Ran narrowed his eyes. What's Cheng Daolei up to now? Gao clenched his jaw. Let's go. If he causes trouble again, we'll burn his damn granary. A crowd had gathered at the gates, murmuring anxiously. What's the Toad Village planning this time? Someone muttered. Probably some scheme to make our lives harder. Another grumbled. Just then, the gates creaked open. White Wolf strolled out, smirking. Gao Fei Bao, she called out. You still owe me a few meals. Gao Fei Bao chuckled. That's easy to fix. Liu Bei, standing beside them, scowled. Easy? You and your people have practically eaten our village dry. Gao, spotting his brother, immediately grew concerned. Gao Fei Bao, did Cheng Daolei do anything to you? Gao Fei Bao grinned. Nope. Actually, I think I gained weight. Gao's face twitched. He looked down at his own body. He had lost weight. Realizing his worries had been pointless, he let out an exasperated sigh. Damn it, Fei Bao. Just then, Cheng Daolei stepped forward, silencing the crowd. Gao narrowed his eyes. What's your game this time? Cheng Daolei clapped his hands together. Good news. We're starting a food distribution today. The crowd fell into stunned silence. Then chaos erupted. "Did I hear that right?" someone shouted. "Is he playing a joke on us?" Gao stepped forward, face twisted in suspicion. "Why?" he demanded. Chung Dao lay sighed dramatically. "Because," he said, "I consider myself a good person." The crowd muttered among themselves. "But," Chung Dao Lei continued, raising a finger, "it won't be free." The murmur died down. "I need volunteers," he said. "Anyone willing to work for me, food, lodging, and pay included, but only capable fighters. No deadweight." Silence. Chung Dao Lei rolled his eyes. "Do you people even know what voluntary means?" The crowd exchanged confused glances. Chung Dao Lei pointed at Gao Feibao. "You don't think you can just leave after eating my food?" Gao Feibao opened his mouth to protest. "White Wolf, you too," Chung Dao Lei added. White Wolf blinked. "Ha!" He pointed at another person. "Bald head, you're coming." A bald man frowned. "Why am I being singled out?" Lastly, Chung Dao Lei turned to his own people. "Zhao Zilong, Zhang Fei, Zhu Shinzhai, and the Lu family's elite sailors, you're with me." Gao watched all of this unfold in growing disbelief. "What the hell are you planning, Chung Dao Lei?" Chung Dao Lei simply smiled. Lu Zhai clung to Chung Dao Lei's sleeve. "Let me come with you." Chung Dao Lei patted her head. "Not this time. This is work, not fun." Lu Zhai pouted. "I can be useful. My family were sailors. I know how to swim, and I can take care of you on the journey." Chung Dao Lei gave her a long look. Then, without a word, he lifted her onto the horse in front of him. Lu Zhai gasped, eyes widening. "Really? Hold on tight," he said. Her pout vanished, replaced with a delighted smile. The harbor was bustling as people loaded supplies onto the ship. Zhao Yi, carrying a heavy bundle, trudged across the deck. She scowled when she saw Chung Dao Lei watching her. He grinned. "Zhao Yi, where's Su Ying?" Zhao Yi rolled her eyes. "Sick, cold and wind." Chung Dao Lei's expression turned serious. "Is she okay?" "She's fine," Zhao Yi said, waving him off. "Just didn't feel like coming to see you off." Chung Dao Lei smirked. "That's cold. But tell her I'll visit when I get back." Zhao Yi sighed. "I would. But she told me to come along and take care of you." Chung Dao Lei blinked, then grinned wider. "I must be getting popular lately." Zhao Yi, unimpressed, stared at him blankly. "Why does she like you?" she muttered, shaking her head. Just then, someone called out, "Raise the sails." Another voice echoed, "Let's go." As the ship drifted away from the dock, the system let out a loud beep. Chung Dao Lei sighed. "What now?" Chung Dao Lei received a system notification that he had officially accepted the mission. Help the bandits of King Mu Mountain survive the winter. Fantastic, noble, heroic. But by the first day of the voyage, all the mountain bandits were sprawled across the deck like beached fish. One man groaned, I can't do this anymore." Chung Dao Lei clutched his forehead in disbelief. He knew these guys had nothing to eat on the mountain, so he had decided to take them to Yangzhou to find food. But one critical detail had completely slipped his mind. They were all horrifically seasick. White Wolf clung to the railing, looking pale as a ghost. Gao Feibao groaned dramatically before vomiting into the sea. A bald man collapsed mid-walk, his limbs twitching. Chung Dao Lei closed his eyes, forcing himself to find peace amid the chaos. He had survived countless battles, faced ruthless enemies. But this was worse. As exhaustion crept in, he finally decided to turn in for the night. But when he pushed open the door to his quarters, he froze. Su Ying. She was standing there, rummaging through her belongings dressed in an outfit that was, well, distracting. Chung Dao Lei immediately questioned reality. Was he hallucinating? Was this the final stage of seasickness? Su Ying looked up nonchalantly. "Hey!" Chung Dao Lei, still stunned, hesitated before stepping inside. He cleared his throat, forcing a grin despite the red mark from the slap she had just landed on his face. "So, you were sick?" he asked cautiously. Su Ying pouted, crossing her arms. "I was, but I decided to come along. You clearly can't handle business alone." Chung Dao Lei blinked. "Wait, you were on board this whole time? I didn't see you." Su Ying smirked. That's because I disguised myself as a boy and boarded early in the morning. She handed him a fresh set of clothes. Yangzhou is full of wealthy people and very particular rules. If you wear your usual rags, they'll think you're a beggar and won't do business with you. Cheng Daolei touched the fabric, his eyes narrowing. Did you embroider this? Su Ying remained silent, avoiding his gaze. Just then, Lu Zhai's voice rang from outside. Cheng Daolei. The door swung open, and Lu Zhai stepped in only to freeze upon seeing Su Ying. Su Ying turned, smiling warmly. Lu Zhai, it's been so long. How have you been? Lu Zhai, however, lifted her chin with a haughty snobbery. I am Cheng Daolei's servant now. You may not address me so casually. Su Ying's smile remained, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. We've known each other since we were kids. That was then. This is now, Lu Zhai said curtly. Cheng Daolei watched the standoff in fascination. He had expected battlefields, ambushes, and naval warfare, not catty tension in his own quarters. With 100,000 guan in his pocket, Cheng Daolei's ship reached Yangzhou in 5 days, carried by favorable winds. Gao Fei Bao, finally recovered from seasickness, admired Cheng Daolei's new look. So, even a bandit can clean up nicely? Cheng Daolei scoffed. We're noblemen from the north. Try to act like it. Gao Fei Bao squinted. Do we have vision and elegance? Then pretend, Cheng Daolei ordered. As they stepped off the ship, Yangzhou's bustling dock greeted them, packed with merchants, workers, and, of course, opportunists. Nearby, an old man was arguing with a thug named Lu, who was demanding his monthly payment. The old man, frail and exhausted, protested. I already paid yesterday. Lu sneered. Then pay again. His men laughed as they dragged the old man away. Cheng Daolei sighed. Classic dockside extortion. As if on cue, Lu and his gang turned toward Cheng Daolei's group. New arrivals? Lu asked, crossing his arms. First time in Yangzhou? Cheng Daolei studied him. Lu grinned. I'll make it simple. This dock is run by the Chow gang. If you want to do business here, you follow our rules. Shinji stepped forward, putting on his most diplomatic face. Ah, greetings. We wouldn't dream of causing any trouble. We fully respect. Lu cut him off. Shut up. Who are you calling buddies? We don't know you. Shinji's smile twitched. Lu cracked his knuckles. We take 10% of all incoming goods. Shinji's jaw dropped. Wait, you mean 1/10 of everything we have? Cheng Daolei interrupted, his voice dangerously low. And what if I refuse? Lu smirked. Then neither you nor your goods are getting off that ship. He took a step forward. How do I know you aren't hiding pirates? Or mountain bandits? Cheng Daolei tilted his head. Oh, and I suppose the Chow gang protects people from such dangers. Lu grinned. Exactly. Cheng Daolei laughed. Ah, so this isn't about rules. It's about money. He flexed his fingers, as if considering something. Fine, I'll show you a real treasure. Lu perked up. Oh, Cheng Daolei smirked, lifting a hand. Bam! Lu was sent flying 10 feet across the dock, crashing into a pile of cargo. The entire dock fell silent. Cheng Daolei dusted off his hands. You should have just taken a polite bribe. Lu groaned from the wreckage. Cheng Daolei smiled at the crowd. Now then, who else wants to discuss taxation? Silence. Thought so. He turned to his group. Let's go. As they strode past the stunned onlookers, Gao Feibao muttered, Noble and elegant, huh? Cheng Daolei smirked. I said pretend. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment Flamingo and subscribe for future parts.